Two identical apartments sit side by side in the exact same city. Inside the first, a massive 75-inch screen dominates the wall. Boxes of high-end kitchen appliances sit unopened on the counters, and clothes with the tags still attached are piled up in the closets. The person living here earns $95,000 a year, but a quick look at their bank account reveals a knot of anxiety. They are exactly 2 missed paychecks away from a total financial crisis. Next door, the setup is entirely different. A modest, comfortable couch faces a reasonably sized television. The kitchen tools show signs of actual use. The person living here makes $52,000 a year, yet they have 18 months of living expenses sitting safely in the bank. These two people pay similar rent in the exact same neighborhood. The person earning roughly half the salary possesses nearly 10 times the financial stability. Income alone does not dictate stability. The difference between these two lives comes down entirely to a hidden relationship between money and physical possessions. If you earn a comfortable salary, but still feel a persistent low-grade panic about your bank balance, the culprit is rarely your paycheck. It is a hidden mechanism called the costs twice principle. We focus almost exclusively on the first cost of an object. You swipe a card at the cash register and the item is yours. The transaction feels complete. But every physical item extracts a second, ongoing toll. A treadmill sitting in the corner implicitly demands hundreds of dollars a year in physical storage space. A large boat requires thousands of dollars annually in maintenance and docking fees, even when it never leaves the slip. You pay a form of rent to simply house your belongings. Then there is the final, invisible drain, opportunity cost. Every dollar tied up in a neglected piece of sporting equipment or excess furniture is a dollar that cannot be invested. It permanently loses its ability to compound in an index fund and grow over a decade. Modern consumption converts household items into permanent liabilities. This cycle of buying and storing locks high earners into a paycheck-to-paycheck loop, independent of their actual salary. Escaping this cycle requires a shift to financial minimalism. This involves zero monastic deprivation. It means spending abundantly on the few things that actually matter to you and ruthlessly cutting the rest. The first step to stopping the financial bleeding is a strict moratorium on incoming goods. No new clothes, no unnecessary tech, and no spontaneous coffee runs until the credit cards are cleared. You enforce this with a strict 24-hour rule. Inserting a mandatory 1-day pause before a non-essential purchase forces the initial rush of dopamine to fade. The vast majority of impulse desires evaporate when you simply wait until tomorrow. This diagram illustrates a mathematical concept called cost per use, a highly effective tool to strip the emotion out of consumer marketing. On the left, we have a $200 jacket. On the right, a seemingly expensive $400 jacket. If you buy the cheaper option but only wear it twice before it sits in the closet, that item actually cost you $100 per wear. If you buy the high-quality jacket on the right and wear it 200 times through multiple winters, the real cost drops down to just $2 per wear. The same strict logic applies to microtransactions. A $7 daily coffee and takeout habit drains $2,500 a year from your accounts. Taking an hour on Sunday to plan weekly meals based on what is already in the fridge plugs this cash leak immediately. It requires a bit of routine, but it removes the temptation to order expensive delivery out of sheer exhaustion. To find your own leaks, abandon those optimistic, aspirational spreadsheets. Pull the last 6 months of your actual bank data and read it line by line to watch where the money actually flowed. These initial behavioral shifts act as a financial tourniquet. They stop the rapid outflow of cash, so your underlying wealth actually has the chance to accumulate. But behavioral habits rely on human willpower, and willpower eventually breaks down under stress. This diagram illustrates the 4-account defense system, routing money automatically. First, a flow covers fixed survival costs. Second, a channel goes straight into investments, your wealth-building engine. Third, a stream is dedicated to savings. Finally, whatever remains empties into guilt-free spending. The exact percentages flowing into each bucket will vary based on your income and goals. The power lies in the structure itself, not a rigid mathematical formula. Automating these flows moves the struggle from a daily psychological battle into a mechanical routine that guards against overconsumption. This entire mechanical process serves one primary philosophical purpose: acquiring optionality. True wealth has very little to do with the accumulation of physical assets. It is the raw power to make life-altering choices on your own terms. It's the ability to confidently walk away from a toxic work environment. It is the breathing room to pause your career for a family emergency, or the leverage to reject an assignment that forces you to compromise your values. The absolute gap between what you earn and what you spend is the only metric that buys a life you completely control. Look around your own living space right now. Look at the items taking up physical and mental room, and ask yourself what you would let go of today if you realized it was buying you absolutely nothing.